Hello, Grace Community Church. We are in February 2nd's reading, and we're looking at Exodus 4, starting in verse 18, and we're going all the way to Exodus 7, verse 13. Now, in this section, we have a couple of problem passages that are difficult to understand. And the first one we have here is in chapter 4, starting verse 24. And it says this: On the way to Egypt, at a place where Moses and his family had stopped for the night, the Lord confronted him and was about to kill him. But Moses' wife, Zipporah, took a flint knife and circumcised her son. She touched his feet with the foreskin and said, Now you are a bridegroom of blood to me. When she said a bridegroom of blood, she was referring to the circumcision. After this, the Lord left him alone. Now that's interesting because first, God appeared to Moses and called him to free his people from Egypt. And then God meets Moses on the journey and is about to kill him. Now that is the first interesting thing. The second thing is that Zipporah has to circumcise her son and touch the foreskin onto Moses' feet. Now that is all sorts of strange. But why is this here? Well, I think we get a hint from Genesis 17. When God is establishing his covenant with Abraham, he says to Abraham, you must circumcise your sons on the 8th day. And anyone who is not circumcised within the family, you have to cut them off from the people. And so we wonder, why did Moses not circumcise his son? Now, is it possible that when he left Egypt, he felt like he had been cut off from his own people, and so he didn't necessarily feel like he had to complete the covenant requirements that God had given to Abraham? Maybe that's it. But maybe when Zipporah says, surely you're a bridegroom of blood, she is indicating something that she did not want to do. She did not maybe want to circumcise her child, but because the Lord was against her husband so fiercely, she realized what had to be done. She had to circumcise her son so that she could confirm the covenant with Moses, with her son, so that he could be prepared more spiritually to be in line with the covenant people, that he could actually stand before them and say that the Lord has sent me and we are going to follow his covenant. Now that is the first problem passage. Now the second problem passage is when they get to Egypt and they are before Pharaoh, and Pharaoh actually treats the Israelites more strictly and harshly than he had in the past. And so Moses is frustrated with God and he protests to God. He says this: Why have you brought all this trouble on your own people? Lord, why did you send me? Ever since I came to Pharaoh as your spokesman, he has been even more brutal to your people, and you have done nothing to rescue them. Well, if Moses understood, or I guess Moses didn't read Job like we did over the last month, but Job answers this question for Moses. Why are you doing this? And the reason that Job answers this is because God doesn't answer those why questions. When we come to him with why questions, he often responds to us with his promises, not necessarily answering why things are happening, but he gives us his promises. And he promises this to Moses. He says, Now you will see what I will do to Pharaoh. When he feels the force of my strong hand, he will let the people go. In fact, he will force them to leave his land. And then he reaffirms to Moses, I am Yahweh the Lord. I appeared to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob as El Shaddai, God Almighty. But I did not reveal my name Yahweh to them. And I am reaffirming my covenant with them. Now, this is really important because, yes, God is almighty, but Yahweh indicates that he's a caring God that cares for the oppressed and is caring for his people right now. And he's saying, this is my new covenant name, Moses. You do not know why I'm doing this, but know that I am affirming my covenant with you and with my people Israel, that they will be delivered. And that is what we can hold on to as well. We may not know why the things are happening around us, and God will never tell us. But what we can know is that God is with us now, and he will deliver us, and it will be greater than we ever imagined. I hope you enjoyed this reading today. God bless you.